that's frustrating. So this is a new issue.
900 users on the site right now. Should I just delete
See, it redirects me.
Should I delete my mission status?
What's your mission status set to?
It says proof of use, proof of receive, and proof of knowledge are all true.
Yeah, that's why you can access it.
I mean, it's possible that I just added a row for myself so I could test in prod. I couldn't say
No,
that.
but if you don't have the check is, the check is if the missions are complete.
Today is the day that we're releasing the GTC token to everyone. People can go to the Gitcoin website and they can claim their tokens, and then that's their membership in the DAO. So this morning at 9 a.m. Mountain Time, we released the token to the world, and we got so much traffic that it took down the website. So what you're watching is us trying to get the servers back online and to triage the issues with everyone. But so far, hundreds of token claims have been processed.
All right, guys, we are back with Kevin Owocki, who is the benevolent dictator over at Gitcoin, which is a platform to help fund public goods and open source software. Of course, Bankless got its start there as well. Kevin, welcome once again to Bankless. How are you doing again today on this glorious launch day for Gitcoin?
So things are good. We brought the site down a little bit with our record levels of traffic this morning, but we got it back up and feeling pretty good about that now.
Why Gitcoin? Why does it exist? What's the purpose?
For sure. So Gitcoin is a place that you can get coins if you're a software developer working on open source software. Open source creates $500 billion per year in economic value. When I start a startup, I don't write my own database server. I don't write my own web server. I don't write my own open source financial system. I use Ethereum. I use Nginx. I use Postgres. And these are open source technologies that allow people to stand on the shoulders of giants when they're starting new ventures. What we want to do is we want to build a business model for open source software. We want to build and fund digital public goods. Clean air is a public good. Open source software is a public good. Transportation networks are a public good. So as opposed to the stuff that you can get on Amazon for $39.99, public goods can't be bought or sold. Public goods are good, and part of what we're doing in the Regen Web3 space is trying to build business models for public goods so that people can quit their corporate jobs and work for the open internet, can quit their private sector jobs and work on helping climate change and still be able to pay their mortgage. Gitcoin so far has delivered $57 million worth of value to open source software developers, which I'm very proud of, but $400 billion per year in economic value is created by open source. We have a couple different orders of magnitude to grow if we're going to really create the change that we want to see in the world. For those of you who have followed Gitcoin grants in the past, you may know that it's not some central grant administrator who's deciding which projects get funded on Gitcoin grants. It's, do you have the respect of your peers, and how many of your peers respect your project? We'll match contributions from the crowd to their favorite open source projects. And one of the things that we're doing is we're matching with something called quadratic funding, which is just a fancy mathy way of saying that we're matching based off of the number of contributors to your project, not the amount of capital they consume. So we're optimizing for the preferences of the poor and the many, as opposed to the rich and the few. Hopefully we'll create a better world for the world's workers, expanding out from what we learned with software engineers to communities across the world. And I don't take that lightly. I think that this is a really important part of people's lives, and we're not going back to the world that used to exist, but we can create a better world for them. The history of the open source movement actually goes back to the late 80s, early 90s when Linus Torvalds created Linux, and then created a global distributed movement to create a free and open operating system. What's really cool about Linux is that they beat Microsoft for the cloud server market. So you've got the giant command and control megastructure created by Bill Gates. All of its marketing muscle, all of its programmers cannot defeat a decentralized network of open source software developers for the cloud hosting market.
Go claim your GTC tokens and be a governor of the DAO. Kevin, what else should listeners and viewers do?
You can go to gov.gitcoin.co and figure out how to get involved. And if you create value, then maybe the community will reward you by letting you capture value by giving you a distribution of GTC. It's not up to me, it's up to the DAO. The other thing that you can do is that we created this comic book about the Ethereum community versus Moloch, and you can get it on store.gitcoin.co. All proceeds will go to funding public goods. And also, if you're not into comic books, we've got unicorn socks. Everyone in the Ethereum space seems to like unicorns, and I'm very happy to be propagating that meme
Unicorn
as well.
socks is that'll make anyone's ears for space.
I work in like a really
One and doesn't
the lucky number, yeah. But the amount with which you were
They have the culture and the community of somewhere more.
Oh wow,
Totally.
this is so nice.
That's why I kept insisting that you read it, Alec. Yeah, and so the Meditations on Moloch is, I feel like, deep lore, but it's a 45-page blog post, and who's going to read that? So
I tried.
I
tried,
me
like 3 times.
Me too.
here, read this comic book right here.
Oh,
You got
cool.
some more? Oh, you got them right here?
I got a bunch of them, yeah.
Perfect. There you
In fact, I
go.
already gave you one, Zach. I
Spreading the
think.
good word
Yeah.
about coordination
Oh,
problems.
okay, this is so great.
I'll take the torn up one. You
can
get
keep
a
one.
free
Metallica,
clean
I
one
have
if you want
extras.
one.
Sure, yeah. I'll keep one, and
Have you read Meditations on Moloch?
I have multiple times.
One of the useful memes about Moloch is this idea of why wouldn't this group of people here create the best outcome for themselves? It's almost like there's an all-powerful demon that's causing us to be irrational and to create systemic risk and to create these coordination failures. And Moloch is that meme. The paradox of this space is that you can go to a hackathon and there's someone who's building the future of regenerative crypto, and there can be someone a couple tables down that's building a Ponzi scheme. There's $2 trillion in the open source financial system, and that's a lot of weight to throw around really in any direction.
Okay. The amount with which you were slashed.
See whether
2 more for Bughouse?
is it meant to
For what?
I'll play.
Nope, okay, I'll one. Barely, but
So Kevin takes pieces, gives them to you.
Okay.
On your turn, you can move your pieces. You can airdrop any of the pieces you have in reserve. Anyone or the only restriction being pawns can't be dropped from the background.
okay.
That's it. It's,
Ready?
I start actually, so.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Oh, I got, okay.
All right, so I'm gonna like zoom out again and we're like down in Louisiana. So what keeps you working day to day besides like how fascinating the tech is in the problem space? Like, how do you know in 20, 30 years you're not part of Mark Zuckerberg's crew creating the next like problem that humanity has to face?
because I think early people at Facebook were probably very like optimistic.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
I think some people say that they kind of knew what they were doing, so we'll see.
Ethereum is a global, immutable, transparent, and programmable substrate for human coordination. You've got coordination failures on one side that are deeply systemic and really profoundly could hurt the future of humanity, and then you've got a global open source coordination substrate with them. And the idea is, can we solve the coordination failures with the coordination technology?
I think that we have to give humanity some sort of tool to like disintermediate the power that technology has created. So like the Mark
Power
Zuckerbergs,
competition.
the Googles, etc. And I believe that a suite of decentralized tools and networks to disintermediate that and give people options will likely shift the trajectory of technology to a better place. That's not a certitude.
Yeah.
But that's what got me into it, and when I come up from all the interesting technical stuff, that's what keeps me.
I think just having a way for people to innovate without permission is the most powerful. There's so many things that I can't even imagine that people come up with, and I mean most of them are degenerate gambling related things. But I think that there's going to be some people who come up with really crazy stuff that I could have never thought of. I just want to hope that I can build some tools to let them do those things.
Yeah.
I don't know about this. The stakes have never been higher for open source software to eat the world. It just makes me so proud that there's thousands of Gitcoin grantees out there organically creating public good in our community. It's not marketing, it's not propaganda, this is truly helping people. And what I hope to see is 1,000x more impact.
Is that it? No? Yeah, it is. Shit. Good game.
We'll see in 10 years what kind of impact we have. I hope it's a positive one.